Good evening, everyone. My name is George. This show is Don't Panic Flip. Iron Fox, welcome to the stream. Iron Fox, has your name always been Iron Fox Tennessee with a capital T, capital N? I feel like something changed. And tonight with me, I have Surreal. Surreal, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hello, everybody.
Spore Frog, one of my favorite cards from, man, I can't remember the set. Was that World Wake that Spore Frog was from? Devin Crates, Big Tex, welcome to the stream. It is a recent change. Okay, cool. I feel like we caught the change. And Surreal, did you say whether or not you were doing well?
I did, and I am.
And you are. Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear. Dorkster.
And it is, and we do. What's that?
And no, I was just sorry. Dorkster came in for whatever reason. The first time I read Dorkster, I read it as Dorkstar. So I want to say at least a year, Dorkster mispronounced your name. Thank you for still swinging by after having so many failed attempts to say it. But I'm saying it correctly now, but I have to say it in my mind incorrectly first before I can say it correctly out loud. And sacrifice to prevent all combat damage. Only a month or two. You're very generous. Also, I am drinking Crown Royal Washington Apple. Oh. Check that out. That was a pickup from the liquor store that was kind of a joke. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I fell in love. This drink is fantastic. This drink is very sweet. It's whiskey, apple, cranberry, and other natural flavors, carbonation, and colored with vegetable juice. Sorry, Canadian whiskey, mind you. And Surreal, are you perhaps drinking anything this evening?
Yeah, I'm just having vodka and soda, as usual.
Okay.
But I think I'd probably be willing to try one of those, but Crown is on the ever-shrinking list of liquors that I can't drink. Because they still invoke old memories of drinking way too many of those.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Only recently have I been able to partake in the fun times that is oh my god, not whiskey, not sake, agave tequila. There we go. Tequila again.
Yeah.
Yep. Devin Crates.
Tequila I had to sort of learn to do again. Crown is one of those bad ones. What is the other one? Malibu. I had a coconut LaCroix, and it tasted exactly like Malibu, and I just couldn't.
Nope.
No.
I used to just drink Malibu straight. Like that was, we would just pull open a bottle and you would drink the entire bottle. Let's see, does that...
We've made a lot of good decisions in our lives, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. Spore Frog, good night if you're headed out. Goran, welcome to the stream. I'm catching back up here. Only a month or two, says Dorkster. Thank you again for not holding that against me. Wild Dog did the same. Oh, I hear it's real good. This is amazing. Spore Frog already drank all their beer. Goran had a root beer, or root beer. I'm not sure. Which way do you pronounce it? Is it root or root?
I say root. Florida Evans on Good Times says rut.
Root beer. Okay. Root. Goran, I get it. Ooh, and I forgot about music. So what we're gonna do... No. I think we're gonna actually have to do music here. And I want to show, I filled up the fridge. I have all kinds of potential beverages, but we aren't, I think, going to drink any more of them tonight, the pre-mixed ones. We're going to make our own beverages because I got egg whites.
Fancy.
We're fancy, and I have egg whites.
Oh,
so what we're going to do is listen to Baby Shark all night. Oh my, you just saying that kind of got me all excited.
I'm going to listen to Baby Shark all night.
Baby
Thanks very much, Goran.
Hans, welcome. I got my t-shirt the other day. Thanks so much. I'm impressed with the quality. Feels nice. Hey, that's Tri-Blend. Tri-Blend or death. Always Tri-Blend. Feels nice. Is the whale falling a hitchhiker? Yes! It's totally a Hitchhiker's Guide reference. It's this right here. You can kind of, it's hard to see. There we go. So there is the bowl of petunias. There is the whale. And it says not again right there. That's what it's a reference to.
I don't think I've asked you, why does the shirt have a brick instead of a bowl of petunias?
Because I suck at pinball. So
so it's a brick.
It's a brick, yes. It's Hitchhiker's Guide. It's the I'm not great at pinball, so let's celebrate mediocrity thing. Comment to Pat.
I'll allow it.
Okay, thank you. And that was, by the way, that was with the OG logo too. Like there was the stream was much more intertwined with the concept of Hitchhikers when I first started. But I promised dubstep. Are you okay with dubstep, Surreal?
Sure. I haven't had a nosebleed and a headache in at least a week.
Which is funny because I actually realize now that I say that, I don't think I have a dubstep playlist, do I? What is it?
Dubstep tease.
I have a pre-made Apple playlist. I have a Starbomb playlist. That's really fun. Rip It, Nine Inch Nails, The Midnight, Marshmello, Logic. I do have a Knife Party Essentials, which we could listen to. The gaming definitely doesn't have it. Get Funky, Go the F to Sleep. I'm just like listing off all of my playlists right now. Dunk It, Dubstep. I guess we could go with Dubstep Essentials. I just don't know if it's any good because it's an Apple playlist. You know what? We're going to go with Dance.
I'm not sure that there's a wide spectrum of good versus bad dubstep.
Whoa. Dubstep. Of course, it starts off with Party Rock. I don't know that there is actually any dubstep on here. So this is maybe just more fun, enjoyable electronica. That is still a little too loud. Is that coming through on your side, though, Surreal?
Yeah, I hear it. I have the stream muted, because otherwise I hear everything a second and a half later again.
Oh, no, it should be coming through your headphones. By the way, Joe Hills, welcome to the stream. Higher Peanut, welcome. Hans, if I didn't say hello earlier, hello and welcome. Von Kraft raiding with a party of 3, and he just ran right in. Von Kraft, thank you so much.
Welcome, Raiders.
Welcome, Raiders, if you just came over. Tonight, we haven't even moved off of the main screen yet. We are playing some Iron Maiden this evening, and I'm excited because I haven't played much pinball recently, and actually I played Rush the other day and I put up 600 million. It felt amazing. Like I kept accidentally starting multi-ball after multi-ball after multi-ball on the newest code. I'm really excited to play Rush. I don't know how much longer I have Iron Maiden, so I'd really like to beat the game. And by beat it, I just want to get to Number of the Beast. I will be very satisfied after that. If I can't find a way to buy this off of Man Adams. Also, Von Kraft, what were you streaming this evening? And the question of the night, and the one I want to keep coming back to, is here. This is good. This is good. Name your favorite made-up category for Jeopardy. Like if you could come up with, was it 2, 4, 6, 800, and 1,000? So I guess 5 different questions for a category. What would that fun category be? That's the question.
Interesting. I immediately am going to, my brain goes to steal the SNL ones.
Right. Therapists.
Except it's swords.
Sword. Oh my gosh. Those are so good. Turd Ferguson.
Yeah.
Von Kraft spent most of the time trying to get to Wada characters mod of William Sparrow working on my machine. Categories. Interesting. So Von Kraft, was it a tech stream as you were working through mod installations? That's kind of fun. The pen is mightier for 200. Oh my God, 2
good.
People. Jinx, neither of you can talk until somebody says your names.
A petite du jour is a pretty good one.
Petite, I'm unfamiliar with that phrase.
Yeah, I don't know what it means either. I know what the joke is, though.
Okay.
Here, I'll type it.
Okay. And dude, I don't have any real pins. It's a VPX mod. Oh my God, Von Kraft. I didn't even know that virtual mods were a thing. I mean, that's genius. A petite de jour. Not getting anywhere with that. Like, seeing it spelled out, it's not helping.
There it is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the line. Yeah, therapist is one of my favorite too.
Therapist was another surprising one. Vinny Blank, welcome to the stream. Okay, there we go. First thing, that's yeah, a petite. Okay, so, what else was I gonna do?
Moo sound.
I was gonna go to Droid Cam. I want to show this refrigerator is no joke. All right, so headed over here, and I'm on the wireless headset. Thought of that one beforehand. All right, check this out. So we have oat milk for coffee, and we've got the egg whites here for this evening. We've got non-alcoholic beverages here, right? There are the juice packs and pineapple juice and Sprite for Zoe, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, and tonic for me. And then we come down here, we've got the strawberry cotton candy, a few Guinnesses left. I've already made it through 2 of the Washington apples tonight. No concern there whatsoever. A whole bunch of these pineapple vodka sodas, and then also quite a few of these rum mint mojitos. The next thing we're going to be drinking, oh no, that's right, I'm supposed to make other stuff, but I have sangrias. And then because I was so impressed with this Washington apple, I noticed they had a peach tea. So maybe I'll try a peach tea before moving over to the egg whites. And also some very fresh water. And there we go. That's the fridge, which is upset at me right now for leaving it open so much, or for so long. Also, finally made it back over and found a place that had Empress. There is, in my opinion, the best tasting gin, which I have. That's Monkey 47 over here. This gin is fantastic. Aviation is great. It's just like, it's smooth. It's amazing. It got me into gin in the first place. But this one here changes color when you pour tonic in it. And it goes from indigo to like hot pink. So that is the one, when we make gins, I feel like that we will be showing off the details of.
Very nice.
That's where we're at right now. And oh man, I was so excited to be like, and we're ready for the next drink. We should try the peach tea. So Devin Crates, so are we counting oat milk as food this time, or is this still a no food fridge? Devin Crates. I finished the last of my food today.
That's a gray area, I think. George's fridge for 600. I like it.
Chaotix. I just went to the store and I picked up a few items. I don't remember putting them in the fridge. I did. Okay, I remember now. I was out to get a coffee because I only slept for about 4 hours last night. And I'm like, it's cool. We're going to do a late night coffee, a little pick me up. It's going to be awesome. And that was after the gym. Upper body workout. Ended up walking over to the liquor store, got way more than I anticipated because they actually had the Washington apple stuff there. Literally couldn't carry it to the car. I had to go, like, I picked up the box and he's like, do you need help out with that? And I'm like, that's silly. And I made it about 6 steps. I'm like, nope, can't do it. Is there a cart? I can help you out. No, it's cool. I'm still a guy. I can't do that. Threw it in a cart, walked it out to my car, ended up walking the cart back. It was, yeah, I'm very happy that we don't have push-up or pull-up redemptions right now. I got nothing left anywhere up here. Let's see. So your refrigerator, by the way, Surreal, is much less impressive.
Yeah, my Iron Fox in particular, but my chat has been pushing to get me to create a refrigerator cam because I'm constantly turning behind me to get beer or something. Although I'm trying to drink less beer for a little while.
Okay.
See if that helps with the reduced caloric without impacting my ability to get silly.
I completely understand that. The Cutwater Vodka Mule is my drink of choice. The Vodka Mule is a very good Vinny Blanc. I wasn't a fan of the Mojito. Vinny Blanc, that's like my current favorite drink right now. I think I'm moving between different things. So, Surreal, when you say no beer, is that, are you going to mix drinks? Are you going to like just straight hard alcohol or no alcohol whatsoever?
Yep. Less mixed drinks, because they usually involve sugar, but Sammy just rated.
Sammy just rating us with 12 beautiful people. Sammy, cheers. Sammy just ran in. Hello, good evening. And now for Leroy Higgins. Sammy, how was your evening? How was the stream? And the question for this evening, the question is, name your favorite, come up with what you think your favorite Jeopardy category would be. Like, what would you own? Just completely destroy everyone at Jeopardy at if it was the category that came up with that came up. Maybe that's a better way to ask it. I asked earlier, like, what was your favorite made-up one? But what's the category that you would, without a doubt, you would win the first one because you slapped hardest, got it right, and then you would just make it all the way down and go for the daily double at the 1,000. Also, if you're just joining us,
Kraft would pick Leroy Jenkins puns.
I do like Leroy Jenkins.
Oh yes.
Random trivia about late 90s boy bands. Sammy Higgins, okay? I get that. I'm trying to think of, do I have anything similar that I got really into in the 90s?
This boy band was popular in the 90s.
Oh man, if there was a pun with having to do with this hot boy band was very popular in the 90s, right? Like 98 Degrees or this boy band, right? Like this boy band had no problems singing together. NSYNC or NSYNC. I don't know how you actually pronounce that. Man, I'm kind of having fun with coming up with these questions.
If you enjoyed this band, one might call you a blockhead, for instance.
I don't actually know that one. What's a blockhead?
NKOTB, baby. New Kids on the
New
Block.
Kids on the Block. Okay, it's funny because I was just about to ask, what was that band from the 80s that was a really popular boy band?
Was that the 80s? Oh my god, I'm old.
Was it? It was the 80s, right?
I want to say it was the 90s, because that was junior high-ish. I don't think it was in junior high in the 80s.
Okay.
80s, early 90s.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't junior. What? 80s, early 90s, says Sammy. Okay, and Sammy would know that was that was her category in Jeopardy. Just have magic Jeopardy categories about your own life. Citrus things. Hey, welcome. Okay, yeah. Well, that was supposed to tap that just a little bit. Surreal, have you spent much time on Iron Maiden?
I haven't spent much time on anything. In fact, at TPN, you probably watched me play more pinball than I have in the last year. I need to start getting out again.
And there is pinball, I feel like, around the TPF area. Ooh, I snuck it back in there.
There is some.
Twice.
Sometimes it's quite a jog. For the dedicated viewers, you might have seen me on the TPN stream get a whopping 2.5 million on Ghostbusters. Just pretty proud of that.
It was a heck of a show.
Yeah, quite. I didn't have my rage button that I really wanted.
A rage button? Do you have a rage button?
I do have a rage button.
Is this
You should stop by sometime, George. Many new things have happened.
Okay, all right. Get over there.
Apparently it is, Mid-Heart. because I achieved it live in front of like 100 people. It was awesome.
Is that possible without tilting? It was Ghostbusters is such a tough game. Hey, I found that right.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to sugarcoat that one, George.
I was attempting
that was just an awful game.
So, walking through the actually, I'm in a multi-ball. I'll walk through the rules when we're not in a crazy mode. Okay, get somewhere. Do the thing, game. Oh wow, that was really bad.
How's it go? Do the thing, eat the stuff.
And here's your bling.
Something.
Well, feel the rhythm, do the thing, eat the stuff, and here's your. I'm never gonna forget that. It's gonna be like the V for Vendetta speech for me.
It is pretty amazing.
Didn't the rage button break from overuse? Asks Razor. Did it break?
Maybe. I think we have several million more uses out of that particular button, so we're good.
Now, I love Ghostbusters, and I felt like some really awful games and also some really enjoyable good games. And what it made me think again is buying Ghostbusters for potentially a fourth time. While I was there, like, it crossed my mind more than once, and I feel like that is slightly embarrassing.
That particular machine was gorgeous.
Gorgeous!
I don't know if that's the norm, but...
They're often modded to the extreme. Ghostbusters is maybe one of the... Arthur Pendragon, welcome to the stream. Ghostbusters is maybe one of the most highly modded games ever. I'm guessing it's Tron and then Ghostbusters, or Ghostbusters then Tron. So there's a lot going on. But that one also had the armor, but it didn't have the topper.
Yeah.
Topper would have set it over the top. Ha.
I really like the white armor on that, because that's a color that I've never seen on any other pen.
I like the white armor. Zach Meny did a hot pink version. So basically think the ooze color on his armor.
Nice.
And I would never... What it did was open the idea of pink in that game, like just oversaturated amounts of like hot pink. And that suddenly became my goal every time I owned that game, was to put so much pink on the game and the play field. And if I could get the armor, which I never made happen, I wanted to make happen. But I did get a topper, and you could set the unique light color combinations for the topper, which was always hot pink. And pink on the sides with pink light replacements and pink plastics. And it was, I fell in love with pink in that game. Everything needed to be pink.
Well,
Joe
if you're
Hills.
super dedicated, you can always powder coat your own armor.
Yes.
Well, I mean, take it to be powder coated unless you've actually got the setup. But my point is, like, you know.
No. In fact, there's a guy, his name is Brian. He is a big car person, and he owned man, I can't remember the car, but he's on Pinside. Huge collector around the Denver area. I've bought and sold a couple pins to him and from him, and he does that on the side, and he does all the cool sparkles and stuff. Nice. So I even have a connection if I wanted to go get that done. And why is Ghostbusters specifically modded? Try to Tilt. Yep. Welcome to the stream. I got to meet Try to Tilt as well at TPF. It's because it's Ghostbusters, and it also was Zombie Yeti's first artwork piece, right? And everyone is so familiar with the assets and the of Ghostbusters, and the theme immersion of that game was so top notch. They had the ability to do and use everything from the movie. So modders got out there and created mods to do the stacked books And the playfield was so colorful, there became mods for artwork on the sides, or you could replace the plastic stuff on the pros with physical molded and hand-painted versions of the buildings. There was a Twinkie that you could put in the game that lit up during certain modes. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man... That's a big Twinkie. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the back, which was stationary but lit up, there was a mod to make him move back and forth like he was walking, only during the Marshmallow Man mode, which is the fourth and final mode on the right orbit ladder of modes. So there was so many, because I think the theme immersion was so great, and Zombie Yeti's artwork was so fantastic, and it was just a very, very popular game. Sammy Higgins, thank you for not judging. But I did really, I considered it a fourth time.
Oh, man, Adam says make sure the extra balls are turned on after Esther tried to beat that game with them off. Us more we can get.
No. I need the extra balls in order to get the number of the beast. No. I definitely need them. But I did get the sarcophagus lock there. I think, do I also get an award? I don't know. Loop jackpot. Go all the way around. Yeah. There's a loop.
Collect the Pharaoh's tomb treasure.
All right, so now we have to hit it again to hit the Pharaoh's Tomb treasure. It's not going to time out. So, oh, but I timed out the loop jackpot. Don't worry about that. So what we're going to do, Chaotix, I completely understand that love and hate Ghostbusters. It was my first game I ever purchased, which was a premium, and then I bought a pro and sold it, and then I bought another pro and sold it. And both of the times that I bought the pros, I had a bad game on it and said, I'm done. I never want to play this game ever again. And slowly, over 6 months to a year, built up this, oh my God, I really want to play Ghostbusters again. I'm ready for it, especially with the code update. And then one bad game where I'm just like not a game, it was one bad night where no matter what I did, the game was so brutal and evil and mean to me. After I hit the wizard mode, like the night before, I was just like, nope, I don't like it. It's bad for me personally.
So you rage quit pin ownership. That's
yes.
What you're saying.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. Are you kidding me? A game can make me hate it in moments, and it takes a little bit, I feel like, to make me love it. But rules on this game. So there are, right now we have to spell Eddie, and you can see that up on the LCD. If I could point in front of the over there. We need 2 more letters, and to get those letters, we need to hit the white shots, and that fills up the letters. Once we get Eddie, we can start a mode. The modes are here: Aces High, Fear of the Dark, Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Hallowed Be Thy Name, and Flight of Icarus. So there's 5 modes. If you go through 5 modes, it qualifies you to get to 2 minutes to midnight. That, if you get to 2 minutes to midnight, gives you the 2 minutes to midnight card right here. To get to Battle of the Beast, you have to get all 4 of these cards. So that's 1 card you have to get. The next card you can get is, Cyborg Multiball. And to get to Cyborg Multiball, you have to hit certain types of shots enough times to complete them. So, and that's these yellow targets in the middle right here. You have power orbits, power ramps, power pops, power targets, and power spinners. And you hit, let's say, to get power orbits, you have to hit the orbits a certain number of times. That triggers it, and then once it's triggered, you continue playing, but every time you hit an orbit, it counts in, and you can actually see it right up here as it's keeping track. So spinner is lit. I don't think I have that one completed yet, but it's ready to be started. And I need 3 more ramps to start power ramps, 17 more pops to start pops, and 5 more to start targets. That's how you get the second one. And then the other 2 are getting a super jackpot in the 2 main multi-balls in the game, which are Mummy and Mummy, which is this one over there, and then this is Trooper. And we have lit Trooper right now, and we're also ready to spell Mummy, so we can start working towards those multi-balls. Yeah, Sammy, it was expensive. This is no question. It was a get this out of here. I'm ready to move on to a different game and never play this again. Yeah, no. Total child moment. All right, so we got 2 more shots that were lit white, so we finished spelling Eddie. All right, that should be second ball lock, right? And I'm gonna give this a little power nudge here, let it get this bonus X there. And then we're gonna start this multi-ball, or start the mode, which is Flight of the Icarus. I'm gonna let the ball kick out, and I'm gonna start my multi-ball. There we go. Now we're in Trooper multi-ball. I have to get a certain number of jackpots, which then lights Super Jackpot in this really weird location. And that is the entire game. And you'll see, I just did it. I'm just gonna be patient here for a second. Yeah, so you can see in the middle, I've got the Trooper card lit up right now. Oh, it's gonna give me that back, cool.
Nice staging.
Thank you. All right.
That is something that I have a real problem with, by the way.
Oh my, it is not easy to stage. Let me tell you. And then Escher has this thing he does where if you have 2 balls over on the right, he wants you to do a backflip where you flip it up, but stage the top flipper so it flips up past the flipper and then put yourself into loot jackpots while maintaining the ball down here, and then you have another ball up there. It is not easy. But now I've got 4 balls over here, so how do we separate? Well, we do that. And we just initiated our...
the 2-button mod. Sorry, you were saying?
I don't know.
Oh.
There we go. We got another Super Jackpot. Woo! All right, we've got a Super Jackpot in the middle. And we got that Super Jackpot over there. That is normally a really tough shot. I don't know how I found it so many times just then. So what are we going to go for? Let's start this loop jackpot. How about that? I'm going to try and stage the upper left flipper. That worked out really, really well for me. Now I'm just going to be patient. Let this time out. You can see that we've got an award here on the left ramp. So I'm going to hit this left ramp and grab my first award. Oh, totally got there. Also notice these guys are flashing yellow here in the middle now. So now I have initiated, and you can see it up here. I've started all of these. I've completed spinner. I need 4 more orbits, 3 more targets, 2 more pops, and 7 more ramps to complete all of these. And then I get to Cyborg Multiball. So what do I need? I'm going to go for this right orbit and continue trying to spell Eddie and get into my next mode. I'll have you know I completely panic flipped right then.
Well, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't panic flip. I'm gonna try this right orbit again. What was that? There was a weird sound there. Tracy, welcome to the stream.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see if we can hit this while Tracy's working on her audio. Oh no. Okay. All right, loop jackpot is lit. Let's hit this right orbit. It should not be that hard. Got it. Now, what do we need? We need to post transfer.
Hey, Marty's here.
Oh my gosh, is it working? I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear your audio's coming through wonderfully, by the way. Hi, Tracy.
Well, hello. How are y'all doing?
Really good.
Fantastic.
Darn it. But we did hit that super jackpot really well. Cheers. Game Club Central, welcome to the stream. Thank you. I like my hat too. I had to go upstairs at the last second. Not overly happy with the hair right now. I just shaved the sides. It's very crazy. Game Club Central coming in with 100 bits. My hat's off to you. Thank you. Also, why am I here? Learning hurts. Dorkster, I'm sorry. Game Club Central just recently streamed a battle with Paladin Arcade, and the level of production value that went into it was fantastic. There was so many WWE or WWF style intros done. It was very well done. So Game Club Central, my hat's off to you. And appreciate the ridiculous effort that went into that setup.
Well done, sir.
I was trying if your hat is a little ghosty. It is a little ghosty.
It's a little ghosty.
A little ghosty. Have you all fully recovered from TPF, or are you still working on that?
Oh my gosh.
I'm on a new hangover right now, as
Yes.
a matter of fact.
Cheers.
Nothing will top convention hangovers, though, that's for sure.
No.
My ankles finally went down. They were very swollen from standing around and walking for like hours upon hours without sleeping much.
Yeah, my ankles and feet were ridiculous. Wait, extra ball limit, no extra balls. Factory default set to 5. We're gonna put that back because Escher was trying to get to Run to the Hills with no extra balls. And I think he got a couple shots away from it, which is not surprising in the least.
Get out of here with that.
I know, right? Who does that? So, Tracy, it was amazing to hang out and see you at TPF. And speaking about TPF, you got to announce at the Twippies. Like, how awesome is that?
That was
cool.
very awesome, but also nerve-wracking. That was, I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know,
glad I
yeah.
couldn't see anything. I'm glad the light was so bright I could not see who the hell was looking at me.
You did a
so
great job.
good.
Yeah, you did. You did amazing.
Taylor and I, seriously, we were like, oh shit, like we gotta say it like this, or like, okay, let's practice. And I was just like, we can do it there. I don't know, I'm gonna get too nervous trying to practice it.
Let's just do it live.
Let's just do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fix it in post.
What'd you
All
end
right.
up getting there? What was that? A peach?
So this is what just happened. Jeff just subscribed with Prime Gaming. No, I have to back up a little. Nope. I'm not tall enough. Can't do it.
You
There
look
somewhere.
like that from Beetlejuice who got the shrunken head.
With the really tiny head.
Sprinkle dust.
Chaotix dropping 100 bits. Hey, we just hit a hype train. Thank you, Jeff. Chaotix, Game Club Central, you're all amazing. Jeff was just on a call with me recently before this. Game Club Central dropping another 100 bits as well. Thank you. I'm gonna try this peach tea. And Tracy, I'm not sure if you heard what the question of tonight was.
I did not.
1 sec. Okay, peach tea, not carbonated at all. Very surprised.
Interesting.
Alcoholic ASMR.
Okay, so when we were at TPF, I got to have decent barbecue, I feel like, for the first time in my entire life. And along with decent barbecue was actually really good sweet tea. And I was genuinely surprised because I have never enjoyed sweet tea. This tastes like good sweet tea with a hint of peach. It doesn't taste alcoholic in the slightest. Tracy from Outer Spacey dropping 100 bits. This is for all the salty snacks you left me.
Yeah.
My hat's off to you. Thank you. I hear the Peachy Keen Monster is killer. I feel like that's a pun.
Have you ever had like the sweet tea flavored vodkas and stuff? Does it taste like that with some like peach schnapps or something?
Definitely not. Wait, what kind of vodka? Say it again.
Like there's like sweet tea vodka.
I have never had sweet tea vodka. Man,
oh boy, you gotta get yourself an Arnold Palmer.
Okay, I've had an Arnold Palmer.
But they call it like something else, like the drunken Andy Daly or something. Is that his name? I don't know golf.
Joe Hills agrees with that.
Well, and Joe Hills introduced me to the Sundrop, which is like the Tennessee version of Mountain Dew, or maybe it's just the southern version of Mountain Dew. But I'm so sorry, Tracy, continue.
No, yeah, I mean that's just basically it. Yeah, sweet tea vodka. You should try it.
Okay, I'm in. I am now excited to have more sweet tea. I've never purposefully ordered sweet tea ever, but I was in Texas and when in Rome kind of a situation, everybody else is drinking sweet tea. There's got to be a reason so many people like sweet tea. And it in one place it was perfect. And then I ordered another, I went and refilled, and it felt like the second one wasn't as sweet as the first one. So I had to put sugar in the second one. And I don't know if that offended the people working there because I happened to comment on the fact that it wasn't as sweet. Oh, no, that wasn't at the barbecue. That was actually when I was in South Carolina like a month ago. And I was at a really nice restaurant.
South Carolina, ruining the southern sweet tea.
Well, that's the thing is they brought it out, and I'm at the like a fancy in downtown Charleston restaurant, and my brother's like, you have to get the sweet tea. The sweet tea here is incredible, and they brought out a sweet tea, and I'm like, this is really good. I like it. And then they brought out another one, and I'm like, it's not as sweet. And then this girl's like, hey, I happen to notice that you said it wasn't as sweet. We have sugar. It's right here. And I'm like, where were you and how did you hear me like that? I have no idea. I was just talking to my brother, like whispering, and she popped up. It's kind of like conspirational. How do you speak conspirators, to conspire conspirationally. What's the conspiratorially?
Things, yes.
Whatever. Anyway, I was like whispering, like, this isn't as good. Kind of like right there. Conspiratorial. Thank you, Joe. That is appreciated. And Joe, welcome to the stream. Joe's listening to me fumble, and he's like, I can't. I got to get in there and fix this.
Conspiratorial.
Yeah, so I've been having computer problems, and I was like, I don't want to join the call because if the computer reboots, I'm gonna cut out, and I don't want to seem rude. But then I'm like, I know how to say conspiratorial. You're killing me, George.
I was stuck. I'm gonna blame drink number 3 on that one. Totally. So I'm there and I'm whispering to my brother and I'm like, it's not as good. Should I put more sugar into it? And it was like, do. There's sugar right here. Like her face popped up in between us. Like, how did you hear me? That was very crazy. So I talked badly about their I talked poorly about their sweet tea, which is kind of interesting because I thought the waitress was a tad into me until I talked badly about their sweet tea at the restaurant, and then she would have nothing to do with me for the rest of the evening, which is funny because my brother and his wife were commenting constantly about how she was being overly nice to me at the table right up until that moment. So it became the joke for the rest of the night was don't talk bad about the sweet tea.
Nothing more damning in a relationship than talking to someone as an outsider, someone in South Carolina about their southern sweet tea. That was
I know it now.
The rudest things you can do, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I know. Now, Joe, how much pride, I guess, do you have in your sweet tea if you happen to be a sweet tea-ish person?
I am not a sweet tea-ish person, although I do have a lot of pride in Sundrop, which, as I mentioned in the chat, you mix that with sweet tea vodka. It is the single best drink in terms of just taste. And I like a lot of drinks, but I had that for the first time. I just kind of mixed it on a whim because I'm like, Sundrop's great with everything. It was designed to cut moonshine back in the day, and if it can make moonshine taste good, you'd be shocked at what it can do for other things that don't taste like varnish. And
George is ordering it right now.
Well,
He's ordering it. No.
it's funny you mentioned that because I was at the store looking at vodkas, and I ended up posting a picture of whipped cream vodka to the alcohol channel.
It exists.
It doesn't. Well, I have it, and when you mix it with Dr. Pepper, it's great. But Manu, and I explained how amazing this was to Manu, who's in San Francisco, and he says he can't find whipped cream vodka at all in San Francisco. So I thought to myself, I'm like, Joe's describing this sweet tea vodka. I wonder if I have a picture of sweet tea vodka. So is that its own particular brand, or is that a flavor?
There's a bunch of brands.
Okay,
yeah, I usually go with Firefly. If
I
I'm
have to go
Sammy
to
is heading
Betty.
out, by the way. I just want to interject real quick.
have a good
I'm
night,
sorry?
Sammy.
Sammy, have a great night. Thank you so much for interjecting, Surreal. Sammy, thank you so much for that raid as well. And my hat's off to you for the raid. Appreciate it. Vertzilla just subscribed. Vertzilla, by the way, loaned me his camera. So before I had all of my stuff stolen, I had agreed to help. Oh, sorry. That audio is actually going on right now. Hold on. It's tied into the same thing as the music, and the music I have to turn up at the same time. As I should probably, I have an unused line in. I think I should change it and do computer audio to one channel and then music to a different channel, since I'm not using the line in at all. I think that makes the most sense. Technical details, rabbit hole. Anyway, Vertzilla lent me his A6400 because I had already agreed to do a photo shoot for a friend who had just opened up a new massage office, and we were doing headshots and room shots. Thank you, Ty, aka Vertzilla, aka Meat Jello. It went swimmingly.
Hi.
Oh,
That's
hi,
Ty. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Everybody who was at TPF got to hang out with Ty.
Hi,
That was
Ty.
Ty. I've got your backpack right here, and I need to return your camera to you because that was super helpful. And I also
filled with goodies.
Oh yeah, it's filled with all of his goodies. And yeah, super helpful. Thank you again, Vertzilla, and thank you for throwing me your primer. That is appreciated. All right, headed back over here. Oh, so Tracy, the question of the night was
alcohol right now.
no, back to alcohol. So
You should definitely try Deep
Firefly.
Eddy, by the way, that's like a good, like Deep Eddy is local to us, and they have really good grapefruit flavored vodka, and it's called Ruby Red, and
Deep
also sweet
Eddy.
tea. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not sure if they sell it over there, but it's pretty dang good. I think
In San
Firefly is,
Francisco.
too, like sweet or something for me. It's not bad. I don't know.
I
A little
did
bit different.
the hardest thing. So I'm certain at this point I can get sweet tea vodka. What I don't think I can get is Sundrop. I didn't even know it existed. I think that's only sold in southern states because it was in every gas station when I was driving through Tennessee and South Carolina and Texas. I have never seen it in Colorado.
Yeah, it's pretty regional, George.
Okay.
No, isn't the manufacturing plant for that in Pulaski?
I'm not sure. There was a bottling place in Tullahoma where I grew up, but I'm not sure where they actually manufactured the syrup because they don't do that in the same place as the bottling facility.
Okay.
Fun fact, the owner is Dr. Pepper Snapple Group.
It sure is now, sadly.
What
is it?
happened? Oh my God, I cannot type Sundrop. My phone refuses to allow me to type Sundrop. It keeps wanting to convert it to Syndrome.
It's like, I don't know what's wrong with him, but it's hard to spell.
There we go. I can order a 12-pack from, oh my God. A 12-pack on,
sold mostly in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Wisconsin.
oh my God. A 12-pack is $20 from
Checks
Amazon.
out.
Well, I mean, you got to
Liquid
keep in
gold.
mind, water weighs about 8 pounds a gallon. So, if you're getting a 12-pack of water with sugar in it shipped to you, that's not cheap.
Hold up. I mean, I gotta try the greatest thing ever. Oh, that's why I'm
George,
looking at my cart.
Be a connoisseur, not a consumer.
Well, George, you can also try it the next time you're in passing through Tennessee, right? Because you're gonna eventually need to come get your TNA.
Oh well,
yeah, for that.
yeah. My niece is graduating at the end of May, and then the party is a week later in early June. So I've got to go back out to South Carolina then, but we'll see. I may end up flying and bringing Zoe with me because driving out there with Zoe just seems like she won't be able to do 15 hours of driving or 17 hours of driving straight. That would just be me.
Arthur and Dragon.
Arthur, have a good night. Okay.
You missed my awful joke, George.
What was that?
I said you missed my awful joke. I said, isn't she too young to drive?
She is too young to drive. Well done. I want to throw out that my cart was really, I'm like, wow, I just added it to my cart on Amazon, but it's really expensive. Two things happening. One, somebody showed me earlier, it was Jedi McMuffin, that there is an augmented reality Mario Kart device that utilizes your Nintendo Switch to allow you to drive an RC car, but interact with your AR environment or your environment as though it was Mario Kart. And I kind of lost it and added that to my my queue. Also, evidently there's a thing having to do with smelling salts that athletes use to help center themselves. And I thought, what the heck? Let's do a smelling salt stream where we get like Ty and Paul Ty, by the way, I'm already saying that you're coming over. Eligos, hi, welcome. In order to do a smelling salt stream where we do like half a stream normal, and then we all sniff smelling salts to see if it improves our performance for the second half of the stream.
I feel like that should be illegal.
Ammonia?
Yeah, I'm really dubious about the safety here because you got a lot of mingled suppliers coming through Amazon. You don't know, like maybe if you get it through like a local GNC, at least you know that it's like legitimately sourced.
Yeah.
It's called
What is the purity of your smelling salt?
It's Amazon Prime. It's rated very highly. I can't select it. Now you've got me a little worried. I wasn't worried until you mentioned that.
In fairness, George, I'm not trying to be a naysayer here, but like Amazon's inventory mingling processes are a bad thing when you get like counterfeit luggage. When you get counterfeit things you put in your nose, that's a different tier of problem. And just as your friend, I wanted to raise that.
I mean,
first of all,
I would pay to see y'all do poppers. That seems like a really hilarious dream.
The Pinball Network rating us with a party of 4. Hottie, thank you so much. My hats off to you. And Hottie, it was wonderful hanging out with you at TPF last week. Thank you so much for. Yeah, Hottie, you're amazing. Also, look at that graphic. Like, if this is not legitimate, that somebody put real effort into that.
Yeah,
oh,
that's
it was
a fighter
Jedi?
job if I ever saw one.
Well, it also has, I can't zoom in, but 1,123 reviews at a 4-star rating right there. Look at that.
Listen, I feel like if you're going to test this, what you need to do is knock each other out and see how well it brings you back.
So what's funny about this one, it's not just this, it's in a squeeze bottle. So you can squeeze.
That's super dangerous.
So you can squirt ammonium into your friends' noses.
I'm just going to mistake that for eye drops, and it's going to be like a huge problem.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. No part of this sounds safe to me.
Jedi also was at TPF, and it turns out Jedi was rating not Hottie. Jedi, thank you so much for the raid, and also thank you for hanging out and being one of the coolest people I feel like I have ever interacted with, not only online, but also the few times we've met now in person. Jedi, you're amazing. Thank you again.
Jedi was great. I will second that wholeheartedly. It was really fantastic to hang out.
Here, really quick. How to use. Twist the lid, bring 6 inches from your nose and sniff. The harder you squeeze, the stronger the smell. How is this not like perfectly legitimate? I feel like we're good here.
How like anyone could say, here, just squeeze this bottle. And,
I'll take terrible stream ideas for 300, Alex.
I would like to point out, Razor Randon made the point that this is a perfect example of survivorship bias. The only people who leave reviews are the ones who don't die while trying.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's safe for bots, so it's safe for you.
There we go. Order placed. We will have all of this by Wednesday. What do you think? TPN stream on Thursday? Get Paul and Ty to come over here and attempt this with me?
I think maybe next week we're gonna know what a egg white / sun drop / smelling salt cocktail.
Wait, so yeah, this is gonna be like you're gonna start off with some John Daly's, like the alcoholic, like sweet tea vodka mixed with the like lemonade or lemon flavored vodka.
Yeah.
With like a splash of soda water or tonic or something. And then you're going to do poppers, right? And then you're going
I'm sorry. Why do you keep calling it poppers? Is that
I'm
like
not calling that poppers? No, this poppers are something completely different.
What's a popper? Like all I can think of is a jalapeno popper, but you keep throwing it out like it's an industry term for something.
It's basically huffing paint for grown-ups.
Oh!
Yeah, it's very, very strong nail polish remover, like tape head cleaner. Basically, it's very prominent in the gay community amongst men to loosen themselves up to prepare for, penetration.
Okay.
But people do it just to get like a head high because it makes you really like woozy.
Sorry, and to confirm, what was it that they were sniffing?
Poppers. Poppers.
It's just called poppers. But like, what's the chemical that they're sniffing?
It's amyl nitrate, is what it is.
Is it poppers are drugs? Okay, Higher Peanuts confirming that it is most definitely a drug. So, for Twitch reasons, we're gonna say that drugs are bad. Okay, and
okay, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you should make yourself some jalapeno poppers. Get real wild with the appetizers. Definitely.
Am I the only person that was thinking jalapeno poppers that entire time that you were talking about poppers?
I mean, that
is just adorable. I love it.
Razor Random, jeez.
Amel, got it. Amel. Okay.
Jinx. Okay.
And by the way, who do we have? Ask Jedi McMuffin. We have Joe Hills, Tracy from Outer Spacey, and Surreal_7 on the stream tonight. You guys, they are
third billing.
Third, but I'll go the other direction the next time through.
No, it's fine.
No, but I'm going to do it right now. So if you want to follow everyone here who is just amazing on stream, check out twitch.tv/surreal_7. If I could type it, I would right now. Nice. Thank you, Surreal. Also check out Tracy from Outer Spacey, which is funny because it's I always mispronounce. I always thought it was Outer Spacey Tracy. And I'm sorry, but it is Tracy from Outer Spacey. And then twitch.tv/Joe Hills. Also, it's basically Joe Hills on the internet. Just type in Joe Hills, and you will find him on Twitter, on YouTube, on everything besides Facebook.
Yeah,
I think you're George. I think your shout-outs are stuck.
What's wrong with them?
Well, one of them worked, and then nothing after.
Oh, you gotta. Oh, interesting. Do ! Shout out. I don't know why the SO actually worked. I don't think I have it programmed.
Well, okay.
I got nothing.
Interesting. Okay.
Right.
I'm not quite sure if I can do it because I don't think I'm a mod.
I Ski-Doo was not invited. #sadface. I Ski-Doo. Man, that is actually a really good point. I gotta get you invited. That is I gotta add you to the group.
Would you like me to do that?
Do you mind, Surreal?
No. Well, sort of, but I'll do it anyway.
Is it just the personality?
No, not at all. Okay, where... Wait a minute. I just realized how much I hate Discord again. No Ice Skido's in here somewhere.
Oh no. Got it. All right, so we got our first soul shard. There we go. For, I don't know, like 9 million and change. By the way, when you complete a mode, you're given the opportunity to get a soul shard, and the soul shard can be multiplied for some reason. I have no idea how it gets multiplied. But when we were walking through the rule set on this, we actually completed Fear of the Dark. I feel like Outer Spacey Tracy, you are the kind of person who would understand or know what makes, what multiplies the soul shard, because that's where the points are in this game.
Have a good night, Higher Peanut.
Hi, Higher Peanut.
Have a good night, y'all.
And goodbye, Higher Peanut.
To be honest, I don't play Iron Maiden quite as much as I should. Is it maybe something to do with combos? I'm not sure.
With combos, okay, I like that.
I'm not
Higher
sure.
Peanut
That
says
is just
playfield
fucking-
multi-effect soul shard.
Okay.
Oh, so you're just basic multipliers. Okay, well, there you go. Go for your playfield ass. There you go. I thought it had to be something more
actually calling me.
complicated.
Oh, no, yeah, you're definitely in.
Hi, Ice
Welcome,
Skidoo.
Ice Skidoo.
Howdy, Ice Canoe.
So all I can do is hear you now. Because I don't have it on my TV anymore. Because I was casting from my iPhone.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, basically.
And plus I'm on my new computer, so I don't have Discord set up yet. I should probably do that now.
Hey, congratulations on the new computer. I don't know if I actually said that, but
Yeah, thanks. I found it in this truck in a Texas Pinball Festival parking lot. Along with a bunch of cool camera equipment.
okay. Oh wow, that was mean. Right there with the shoot again.
Terrible.
But nicely done. I too also have a new laptop on the way.
Yeah.
I do. I am.
Again.
Oh
Did you
man.
tell everyone what happened?
I mentioned it on
messed up.
stream.
Shoot the
Yeah.
drum.
Yeah, sorry to hear all that. That sucks.
That's not indicative of our state, just indicative of our species.
Okay, that's actually. I need to remember that statement.
Kind of watch where you took it all. Well, I have an alibi. I was in Maine.
All good. There it goes.
If someone would trade you for a premium, like would you get rid of this? Would you get rid of the Pro?
Oh, this is the LE.
Wait, that's the LE?
Yes.
I am so sorry. I
Very-
have you on the lowest possible resolution.
all good. All good. No. So
Assume by looking at the mummy that it was not.
this is. Oh, by the way, Hans actually gave us some information about. I think about the multipliers, but and which I'll come back to in just a second. But this is a temp trade with Man Adams, who has my Godzilla LE right now. So I'm hoping to get to Battle of the Beast. That's my goal while I have this. I mean, as you guys are watching right now, this right outlane is just evil. Both outlanes are fairly evil, so I don't know that we're going to make significant progress this evening towards that, but that's the goal over the next probably month or so. I don't know how long I've had it and how soon Man Adams is hoping to get it back. I know that he was selling it, and in a perfect world, I really want this game. Iron Maiden is gorgeous. The LE is fantastic. And this game's left ramp is the sweetest shot through the pops I think I've ever, like, it's so easy to find and hit. So like I want this specific version, and I feel like it's just the LE that does that. So to answer your question, Outer Spacey Tracy, or Tracy from Outer Spacey, darn it, see I did it right there.
You can just call me Tracy.
But Tracy from Outer Spacey is so fun. It rhymes, it's great. It has association with like the galaxy and stars and things like that. It's a great name. It rolls off the tongue quite well. But I don't actually remember what I was talking about just then.
Left ramp was very nice.
Oh! Yep, through the pops. It's very fun. Nope. I had something like super important I wanted to say. Gone. Nothing. Squirrel. It's fine. We'll come back to it.
I want this game. It's one of your favorites. You want to own it.
I do.
Might become a perma trade.
I don't know about a
You're
perma trade.
to this machine.
That was mean, game. It's fun.
We still
it's
have
great.
Hans's comment to go over.
Got it. So the hurry up value starts at 20% of the points you earned in the mode. The collect value can be multiplied 2x or 3x based on where it hits the bullseye target, and this stacks on top of the 2x or 3x playfield multiplier to make 4x, 6x, or 9x collects possible. Oh, it's multiplied. Okay. Uncle Rich. Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sounds lucrative.
Oh, you know, that was great. Speaking of TNA from like, 10 minutes ago, how is TNA treating you, Joe Hills?
I am really enjoying it, George. Thank you so much again for renting that to us. My daughter and I, we try and play it. Usually it'll be like I put something in the oven, or I start the rice cooker or something. So, we got something getting ready for dinner. We'll stand around and play a few co-op mode games. And then I might play a few games to wind down at the end of the night or between tasks during the day. But yeah, she's getting really good at it. I'm getting slightly better. So that's nice.
It's fast. It's a fun game, though.
Oh, yeah.
So at TPF, there was obviously a lot of opportunity to hang out with Scott Denisi, who was like mixing crazy music, and he was just everywhere, and it was super easy to run into him in chat, and he's just so personable and such a fun guy to hang out with. I brought up that he is such a he's like the greatest dude. And I brought up that that you had my TNA, and he got kind of like giddy. That you had TNA. He was so excited. And he's like, I gotta call Joe. So at some point, my guess is that Scott's gonna hit you up.
Yeah, I was thinking at some point once I get good at it. Like, it'd be great to be able to, like, have him call in for a stream or something if he was available, because I also know he's super busy,
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I kind of need to get to the point where that's the sort of thing that would draw a pinball audience and not just, like, my normal viewers, right? And so I need to not be embarrassingly naive at the table, let's say, right? Before... That's kind of a few months in thing, not a month one thing.
Nah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Tracy here. I think you're fine. You're personable. You have fun.
You how to play the table than the creator of the table.
Yeah, I don't know. And this is a constant flaw of mine. I'm trying to be better about this, but there's a lot of things where I'm like, yeah, I want to do this right, but I'm not ready to do it right, so I'm just gonna postpone it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. I know that procrastination feeling. Everyone called me a perfectionist. I was like, how am I a perfectionist? I haven't gotten anything done. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm constantly doing the best I can with what I have in front of me, which is not the same thing as being a perfectionist. I'm basically continuously min-maxing and iterating things, but I'm not, like, almost nothing I do I consider actually, like, finished. I'm like, oh, I could have spent 12 more hours on that, but you know what? It's finished because I got stuff to do. Let's keep going through the hopper, you know?
Right. That's the, your insurance stopped paying, so I guess you're cured.
Oh, yeah.
Can you guys hear me, by the way? I just switched from my phone to Discord on my computer.
Yeah,
We can hear you now.
A little bit, but oh well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, though, George, looking at the clock, it's almost 1 a.m. here, and I got to wake up early to get my kid to school tomorrow. But thank you so much for having me, as always. This was a fantastic time.
Oh my gosh. Joe, thank you so much for hanging out.
Oh, always. And yeah, thanks everybody else for hanging out too. It was great seeing y'all. Have a good night.
See you, Joe. Thanks for hanging out, man.
I want to see his kids play TNA. It's so cute.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I want to see his little kid play TNA. That's so cute.
Collect the Pharaoh's tomb treasure. Shoot the level.
Yeah, I don't know if Joe if Joe
I don't think he's gonna do that. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think so.
It's good to keep children off the internet. That's for sure.
Exactly. It's funny because
Twitch
Zoe
is basically built around that. Yeah.
When in doubt, yes, do not put your children on the
Yeah.
internet.
It's funny because Zoe has like her stream name picked out and she talks about it all the time. She's like, when can I get on stream with you? And I'm like,
You're just 10
when you're
years away.
18. Yeah, exactly. When you're 18. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Ice Ski-Doo?
I was just copying what he said. That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you buy some new camera equipment, or are you just using stuff that you already had?
So using stuff I already had for right now, it's funny because I just won, what I thought about doing for the Playfield camera was switching to the ZV-1 from Sony. But the ZV-10 allows you to swap out lenses. So there's some flexibility there. But I'm trying to decide what face cam to get right now. And it's funny because maybe had a couple of drinks and did one of those like, you know what? I know what it is I want to do. I want to start working on maybe more, fun commercials or movies or YouTube stuff. And there's a camera that's been on the dream list for a while. I should just make that happen. And I sat there, I don't know for how long, like in bed with it in the cart, ready to hit the purchase. And it's still in my cart right now. And what's funny is the site I'm using, B&H Video, continues emailing me every day like, hey, you left this in your cart.
I know, I hate that.
And it's getting to me, man. It's making me think for a second, like, how committed am I? Am I committed enough?
Hold out long enough, they'll give you a 10% off discount.
Man, you really dropped your money on that sun drop, though.
Oh, that's true.
That's
You want to be sniffing
Sun
salt
drop and smelling
drinking.
salt.
Yeah, you need to be drinking.
I mean, you need to save up for
lemon
that
lime thing.
inevitable lawsuit that's about to happen.
Yeah, right. And the lawsuit being suing my insurance company for not paying me. So what my insurance company is telling me right now is that because I have made money using my camera on Twitch, or my equipment on Twitch, that it has become a business. And by definition, then I should have had business insurance, and they don't want to pay for any of my equipment.
But you use it for fun as well.
Not only that, by every definition, like legal definition, as fun as this is, and as much as it is super appreciated, what everybody does with like tips and subs, it is still by technical definition of the tax laws a hobby. So it's a hobby. It is not a business. So
Amusement only is printed on every little piece of paper on that apron.
That is an abysmal position for your insurance company to be taking on that.
yep.
That's awful.
Sadly, you probably inadvertently gave them that out by mentioning anything about Twitch.
Oh yeah. It's funny too because the lady let me know ahead of time that I was recording, and it was just very personable. She was very nice, and she asked, so what are you using the camera? Oh, you were at a pinball festival. That's great. A lot of these pinball people are on Twitch, and I'm like, that's crazy. I'm totally on Twitch, and that's why I brought the equipment. No. No,
I watch pinball streams on Twitch. You must be one of them.
You're just trained to get out of paying.
Yeah. No, and she just asked questions, and I am the kind of person who just answers the questions. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. She had questions about Twitch. Well, how does that work? And the difference between Twitch and YouTube. And I'm like, this is great. And then it changed into a conversation about like on Twitch, well, why would you go with Twitch? Oh, there's subs. Oh, interesting. So there's money. Oh, well, okay. To let you know, because there's money involved in this, we actually can't pay you back for the loss of the equipment. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Did that just happen to me right now by my insurance company? And she started it off with like, oh my God, you've been a customer for 7 years and you have car insurance, home insurance, renter's insurance. You have like all of these. You do everything through us. That's amazing. We're so happy to have you as a client.
That's amazing. Thank you for giving me all your money. You're such a good client. But we're not going to get back.
You're leaving them, right?
Me of them.
We love that you pay all of your premiums every month. You want to do what now? You want to do a claim? Wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, why is your insurance company paying for your cameras? Oh, yeah, hey, Game Time Television. So somebody broke into my car on Sunday after TPF and took all of my camera equipment, my Edelkrone mounting equipment, and my laptop out of my car. Kind of sucked. Why ain't it a business? We got W-2s and stuff. It was just a hobby. We wouldn't affiliate. Yeah, it's still... So technically, by the definition of the current tax laws, if the amount of money you make is under, it's like 2 or 3% of your total salary or total income, it's a hobby by definition, which is interesting because they changed. Right? Oh yeah, it's.
There's no way in hell you make you're popular, and you're doing great, George. But I feel like Twitch is really not. You can't really live off of that.
Yeah. No. It's exactly. So
this is not 8 pinball machine money. Is what you're saying.
That's, and if you remember, Manu and I did a stream, right, where and we've done this second string silver balls and second string silver ball, and a lot of it is the tech. But we did I think episode 5 or 6. What we did is we took a step back and said, okay, if you're going to stream pinball, especially it was at the beginning of COVID, why would you stream pinball? And if it's for monetary success, don't. Like if you're also trying to feel good about yourself as a streamer, don't, because pinball's not it. Pinball is ranked right now, I think somewhere between 1,100 and 1,200 in terms of categories on Twitch. It is not a popular category. If what you're looking for is some level of monetary or Twitch level success, don't choose pinball. If what you want to do is interact with chat and have a good time and do something online that allows you to engage with other people, man, pinball couldn't be better. The community in pinball is fantastic. It's so they're engaging, they're interested, they want to know more, and if you don't happen to be a great pinball player, but you can chat and engage with other people, man, they're right there with you, because not everybody is Escher level playing quality, right? Like I would say the overwhelming majority of us is like, I might hit a wizard mode once a year or a couple times a year, not every single time I play pinball. So it's really easy to sympathize, I feel like, with the average pinball player who enjoys just talking about the sport of pinball or whatever that happens to be kind of popular or the zeitgeist or whatever it is that you want to chat about at the time. But it is definitely not success in any monetary success with pinball. I'm catching up here. Sorry. And it's Game Time Television. Thank you. My lifetime earnings is $16, says Jedi. Jedi, who, by the way, has, I would argue, some of the highest quality. At Game Club Central. Thank you. And Game Club Central vows to change that. And awesome. More power to you if you can. But Jedi, just throwing that out there, my lifetime earnings is $16. Jedi and I basically had all the same equipment. So I know the investment of money into it in order to provide the quality that Jedi provides in every single one of his streams. And it's basically, you're never getting that back. You're doing it because you're interested in the tech, or you're interested in the streaming, or interested in providing the best image possible to people as you're streaming, and you can geek out about the tech and you can test things out and really get in there. And Joe Hills earlier mentioned the concept of min-maxing. That is, I feel like, one of the key components to anyone who's into tech is, how can I take this cool tech and make it better, either at low cost, or what happens, think of it as oh my God, Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement. How do I take this really cool piece of hardware and turn it up to 11? Like what's the absolute max possible you can do? And that, I feel like, that's worth celebrating. And that's what makes it kind of fun. It's not it's not nobody in pinball, with the exception of Dead Flip. And by the way, now Carl from IE Pinball is, besides those two, there's nobody else at Buffalo Pinball. Partner? Oh yeah, he had partner like during TPF. Huge awesome. Congrats to Carl, by the way, because man, that is so freaking amazing. And he has been doing it consistently. Amazing engagement with the audience. The quality, you guys know, is there. And he is one of those great players. Yeah, he's just fantastic. So, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, or why we're talking about things. Jedi, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's not like I didn't just play for 90 minutes with an 11-second average ball time. I'm a professional, damn it. Eligos, what up, Game Central? Hey, you're number 4 in my book, Jedi. I think I'm at the $4,000 mark, all in, including gear swaps, upgrades, and whatnot. El Rucco, welcome to the stream. Jedi, that's no joke. Just think about that for a second. Maybe max amount paid out by Twitch at $16 and total gear spent in order to provide a high quality stream at the $4,000 mark.
See, I take like what would be maybe like a -5 and I bring it to maybe like a 3. That's what I do. Like I had like stands, so I would pile boxes on top of each other and like stick holes in them to like support. It looked real bad. But I mean, with my 11-year-old computer, I managed to get some stuff done.
I'm trying to think right now. I can't think of it. Tracy, when was the last time you streamed?
It's been a hot second.
It has been a hot second.
A little bit of virtual pinball, but.
Were you also doing the? You were playing Ori, I think, recently, right?
I played Ori and I played, oh god, there's this one game that was really cool. The Artful Escape, I think it was called. Where this guy, I don't know, walks around and strums on the guitar and he flies around and stuff. Looks really pretty.
Oh, I think I played that, actually.
Yeah. It sucks with that game, though, because there's a character that mentions pinball, and they're like, pinball's really fun. They mention it briefly, you're like, oh shit, are we going to play pinball in this somehow? And then you never do. And I'm like, what? How dare you set me up for, like, high hope, only to crush it like that. still really pretty and sounds and looks cool and whatever, but... Oh, get out of here, Game Time Television. Get out of here.
Okay, now that I understand the context of the insurance...
I love you, Rocco. Hi.
No, Game Time Television, because I stream on Twitch and there has been income, they've explained it as they... By their definition, it's a business, and I should have had business insurance on my equipment as opposed to utilizing or thinking that my homeowner's insurance would have covered it.
That stinks like yesterday's baby. I'm sorry, George.
Like I said, it's... Honestly, it's what's crazy about that is it's not... Maybe for about a day, I was like, do I really want to reinvest it? And at the end of the next day, I'm like, not stopping me. I'm doing it again. And I think I'm stepping it up. And if it helps, the amount of money that that Jedi mentioned, the amount that they would not reimburse me for was an exponent of that, was exponential. That's how expensive streaming can get. So it's obviously all in the hobby.
You mean in the business?
It's so not a business, exactly.
You should ask the girl on the phone how many business insurance accounts they have for Twitch streaming.
Right? And that's why I say I very likely I'm going to end up suing my insurance because it's worth it.
Good for you.
I hope you get somewhere worth that because insurance companies are a bitch.
No matter what, I'll feel better about the situation.
Yeah. I'm sure if you had business insurance, they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, that's just a personal hobby.
Yeah, exactly. No, Jedi, I'm saying that the amount that I submitted to the insurance was an exponential amount from that.
A lot of sweet tea vodkas. A lot of
Exactly. It's so funny. I feel like I play so much better when I'm not really paying attention and I'm just talking.
I had that exact same phenomenon happen on my stream too. when I'm explaining something, I just totally zone out and the game just takes care of itself.
Are you one with the game, George? Are you feeling the flow? Are you lost in the zone?
No!
Oh.
No, especially not now that we're talking about it.
We turned that multi-wall into a one-ball play.
It was going great. I just converted it. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. It was.
Oh yeah, look at that left ramp. That was very nice.
All right, so we have Mummy prepped. Let's see if we can hit this right ramp. Oh no. Okay, we didn't hit Mummy. We did not hit Mummy.
Oh, one shot.
It could have gone better. What I didn't want to do is hit the Mummy target and start Mummy before we had a mode ready to go. So now we're going Flight of the Icarus.
Yeah, you're definitely not a child. You know to bring modes with multi-balls, right?
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
I am not a child.
Get out of here with that naive shit, am I right?
Hey George, you didn't have any of that content that you created for your daughter a few weeks ago on that laptop, did you? Did you lose anything like that?
I lost it all. That was the biggest heartbreak, as I had to tell Zoe that all of the recordings that we did for the internet series was still on the it was still on the SD card in the camera that was taken.
Oh no! What a bummer. I was hoping you at least get this, like, you know, the memories and stuff back. Maybe not the actual hardware, but damn,
It was,
that sucks.
and honestly, that's the kind of the funny thing was Zoe gave me the go ahead. She told me last night as we were going to bed. She goes, "I'm sorry that we lost everything. We can do it again, but you have to buy another camera."
That's good motivation.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe that would help your case with insurance company too. It'd be like, these are our memories lost. Can you put a price on that? Is that business to you, buddy?
Try to tilt. Who hit me up, by the way? Try to tilt. I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. I remember reading it and totally space getting back to you. You were looking for some details on the slider as to what direction to go. But
Okay, I think I'm gonna head out. By the way, I'm gonna zone out to some television shows and whatnot.
Tracy, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for letting me hang out, and thank you for existing, and thank you for doing this hobby and sharing your hobby with us on this website where we celebrate our hobbies. Just to drive that home. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.
Well played. Well played.
Don't have much time.
Right ramp. Got it.
Save?
Great,
Oh
Surreal,
my
now
gosh.
it's your time to shine. You gotta carry the show.
Okay, we're in big troubles.
Hey, Sir Snarf, Queen Dark Lady, welcome to the stream. If you guys are just joining us, we have Surreal and I Ski-Doo in the stream here. Tracy just left. Joe Hills left about a half hour ago. And what time is it? Oh, wow, it is well after 12 o'clock. Oh, that's right. I started at 10:30. We're good. We got 15 more minutes. So, I completely spaced asking Tracy the question. So this has got to go to I Ski-Doo. I Ski-Doo, imagine you were in Jeopardy. Hold on. What category in Jeopardy, if it was announced, would you completely destroy and just own?
The penis mightier, Alex.
I feel like that came up a few different times.
Probably movie quotes.
I'd be down for that. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Oh, we should just do a... Oh, maybe that's the game that we need to implement here on the stream at some point. Is name this movie. And
interesting.
Just have a series of quotes.
Okay.
What if that data set exists someplace?
But is it the actual quotes from the movies? Because I feel like that's a whole different animal.
No, but well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, eventually, it could be a who can name the movie that this quote is from.
Okay. Because another fun part of that would be, like, we have to come up with the quotes, right?
Sure, we could do it both ways.
Fargo Pinball had a catalytic converter stolen. Oh, that sucks.
Sorry, what was that about a catalytic converter?
Fargo Pinball mentioned in chat that he was sorry for your loss, and he had
thank you.
Had a catalytic converter stolen recently from their button.
Oh, that's interesting. I was just reading about that today, that the catalytic converters, because they're made from precious metals, are
right?
Very popular theft item. Apparently.
Yeah.
You don't have much time.
All right, so we've got Super Jackpot lit. We've got to hit it. I don't know the easiest way to hit it right now.
What's
Shake
the
it.
shot?
So it's this shot right there is what I have to hit. It's up there. There's a target all the way back there. Shake, 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 Sonora.
I need to get more time on this game. I don't really have very many games on it.
Okay. Well, I tried.
So today I got a Thunderbolt dock from my laptop, and I was messing around with that, trying to figure out what the limitations of it are. Use any type of Thunderbolt dock?
I do
On your
not.
laptop? You don't?
Nor I.
So I don't stream on a laptop anymore. Oh, that was mean. Because once I got a PCI Express card that did 4 HDMI captures and never had to deal with like USB overload issues and that issue where if something happens, you got to unplug and replug it or deactivate and reactivate. None of that exists with the PCI Express, but you lose some of the mobility there, obviously. But with a PCI Express, like if you are outputting a signal from a device and it is plugged in, it will always work. And it mind-blowing what that does for reliability of the stream.
Yep.
And Fliptronic and Flipstream both use Thunderbolt docks. Yep. I'm positive that Fliptronic uses a Thunderbolt dock. Sir Snarf, thank you. Really hope the insurance will help out. So effing effed up. Appreciate it. Rock solid. Yeah. Test Bishop. It's fairly rock solid. All right, we're gonna get there this time. This might be the last game of the stream. We have 13 minutes. Skidoo, what are you drinking anything right now?
No, just diet root beer.
Okay, diet root beer it is. I'm gonna have.
Now, is it root beer or root beer?
I call it root, but.
Okay, that is like 3 or 4 roots. I call it root beer.
Really?
I do. It was just funny because I hear myself say it and I'm like, ugh, don't call it root beer. That sounds awful. But that's how I grew up, calling it root beer. So like root beer, I like the sound of it better, but root beer is what comes out when I'm just saying root beer.
Okay, so if you have one of those trees underneath the ground, the things that spread out from the tree are called
roots. No question, they're called roots.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
We call it birch beer. You'll be safe.
Up and around.
Jedi McMuffin apparently is used to calling it birch beer from his childhood.
Whoa, birch beer?
Philly cheesesteak sounds so good right now.
Oh my
I
god.
didn't realize it was different. What is the difference?
Oh, it is an entirely different. Okay.
I thought there was 2 different names for the same thing.
Yeah, I kind of assumed it was the same thing. Jedi, was just watching your VOD. Love that 30-minute close-up of your beautiful face. What? I'm intrigued. Are we talking about extreme close-up material?
If it was the one that he just did, he did a close-up to show me the connectors in his back box, and then he forgot to put it back. But that was only like 5 or 6 minutes, so maybe he's talking about a different VOD.
I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes live is a very long time. He says it's like 7 minutes. I forgot to switch the scene back.
Ah, okay. I really want to hit this advanced revive right there. There it is. Found it. It's the tip of the flipper. All right.
Ew.
I'm trying to think. If I was to choose a Jeopardy category, I would have to go science fiction and fantasy novels. I think that's where I would have the greatest opportunity to succeed without getting too specific. Like, if it was Jim Butcher novels, I'd own. No question. Between the number of times I've reread the Dresden Files and the Codex Alera, like, that, I'd kill it.
You crushed me for sure.
No question.
So that's what I'm going with as my answer. Let's go science fiction and fantasy. Got the underworld. Let's see. Birch beer is made from birch, but root beer is made from sassafras root. Good to know.
I like birch as a wood for wood purposes.
Man, that was the Addaball right there. Evidently, I missed it. Couldn't get there.
So are you considering buying another one of those sliding camera rigs, or are you gonna forego that?
So I think no. But what I think I'm gonna do is upgrade my camera.
Yeah.
So no more sliding rig, or if I did, maybe downgrade and not do quite the setup I had before, but end up going with a much better camera. And what I was looking at was the Sony FX6, which is not going to do much, honestly, for streaming, but it will allow me to do a lot more with like fun little side projects like I was doing with Zoe.
You mean your side business?
Not a business, a fun hobby. Where it's funny because I asked Zoe. So Zoe and I sat down and we watched Bluey. And after every episode of Bluey, I asked her to tell me what the moral was and what did the episode do to teach the moral. And it was great because it made her think about how Bluey was written and produced. Like, well, why did they do this and that? Oh, well, they set it up where the dad was the one in this episode who was struggling with a moral, and then he had to teach it to his kids, but he learned something about it afterwards. It was really cool. So that's where we went with this kind of like web series that she wants to make about Hug. And she actually, I'm like, okay, so what are we going to do? Let's write up a scene. And she wrote it the first time through with, like Hug is the hero. And I'm like, okay, but how is Hug the hero? What's the problem? What's the problem in the scene? And how are you going to show what's the moral you want to show? And you have to show somebody failing at that moral and then show how they can overcome it afterwards. Like there was all these different things, and it was really cool to see her thinking about how to set it up that way. And we ended up recording. It was probably about 2 or 3 hours of recording with her and Hug, and that's some of the stuff we ended up losing out on. Dr. Curly Tech, yeah, Bluey is amazing. Which is funny because I think Jedi actually got me into Bluey, if I remember correctly, and then set me up with access to multiple seasons of Bluey, which has just been fantastic. Season 3, to this day, Unicourse for the win, which is what I posted. I posted it to Facebook recently. Like the Unicourse episode is just so great. Are either of you guys familiar with Bluey, the television show?
I am not.
I haven't heard of it or watched it.
Now, I Ski-Doo, I feel like you have kids, but yours are older. Is that right?
No kids.
No kids. Okay, I'm sorry. I misremembered that. Surreal, I know you have kids. How old are yours?
My son is 12 and my stepdaughter's 20.
Okay, yeah. So you're a little past the Bluey range, but it's a very cool show, Australian, and it is definitely made for maybe the best way to say, like, I don't know, no, maybe even earlier. 4 to probably 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
The Living Arcade
is jumping in.
Thank you, The Living Arcade. Welcome to the stream. My hat's off to you. Thank you so much for rating us and for bringing 5 beautiful people over here. Hollywood Polo, how am I doing? I'm doing great. Having so far a great week, which is interesting because in my job I had one day this week that was not filled with meetings, and it got filled with meetings anyways, but a different type of meeting. So for the next 4 days, I am in what's called a summit from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. It is 8 to 4, 8.5 hours of meetings. So it's 8 hours of meetings with a half-hour lunch is what that is for the next 4 days. Huh?
Pass.
Oh yeah, exactly. It may sound great, but I am a development lead for back-end services, which means I am stuck being super involved. Old Snake 333, thank you so much for that follow. That's what heroes do, and that's appreciated. Thank you. My hair is off to you. The Living Arcade, how was your stream? What did you stream? And the question of tonight is, what category in Jeopardy would you own/destroy? What's that category for you? Bluey is made for all ages, perfectly viewable. Oh my God. Dr. Curly Tech, by the way, that's what's so great. Amazing television shows target not only their main audience, right, but they also target adults. And there's some amazing humor in some wonderful television shows that are meant for kids, but have humor that goes over their heads, right? So I wouldn't recommend Bluey to teenagers or early 20-somethings, but if you're a parent, and you could be an early 20-something or a teenager and still be a parent, but, and at that case, this is for you, right? But parents will love Bluey because there's morals that get taught to the kids, but there is humor and like weird levels of empathy and sympathy that the main characters have, where they're just like sighing at one point. Oftentimes they get into situations where the parents in Bluey have to be like, no, your turn to go upstairs and put the kids back to bed, kind of things, right? Like, it's just standard operating procedures for being a parent, be it in a couple or single. There are going to be moments for everybody, regardless of your parenting type and style, where you are going to be able to feel like someone else is empathizing with your, sympathizing in this case with being a parent. And it's awesome. And of course, there's occasional fun references to things like Indiana Jones, especially with the no ticket episode. Unicourse was just hilarious in general, in my opinion. I don't even think Unicourse had a moral. I don't think it had anything positive in it. It was just fun. But there's Bluey. I would also say Kipo and the Wonder Beasts. Avatar: The Last Airbender. That television series was really good. Plus the follow-up. And the Dragon Prince is another really good one. And I know I catch flack for it, but I don't even care. My Little Pony and the magic of her Friendship is Magic is without a doubt some of the best written comedy and morals for kids that also transcend or with humor that they will never get, that you will absolutely love as a parent. There was an entire episode where every moment of it was a reference or a throwback or something having to do with Indiana Jones. That also had they have guest stars. So this one had who's the actor who does Happy, the television show on Netflix that voices Happy? The figment of the main character's imagination. Do either of you guys know?
Is that Ricky Gervais?
Nope, it wasn't Ricky Gervais, but another similar character with a really unique voice. I can't think of his name at all.
Here, let me ask Lord Google.
Hey, Lord Google.
Who's the show again?
And so the cartoon I'm referencing is My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And there is an episode there's 9 seasons, and it ends so wonderfully as well. Like there's so much. Patton Oswalt, thank you. Yes, Dr. Curly Tech for being right there with me. But there is an episode with Patton Oswalt, and they bring back that character a couple more times. He's amazing. Patton Oswalt is amazing. I love him for it. But the character he played was a person who was a bit of a skeptic when it comes to book series versus the movies. And it's a reference to Indiana Jones, but somebody loving the books as opposed to the movie interpretation of Indiana Jones. And it made fun of so many different things that Zoe never understood as she was watching it. But I could not stop laughing. And there was another episode that was all about Dungeons and Dragons with the Lord of Chaos, voiced by O. Is it O from Star Trek? Was that his U-T? What was the one from? What was it? Q. Yes, there you go. Queen Dark Lady. Appreciate it. I never got into Star Trek, so it's the guy who voices Q from Star Trek who plays the Lord of Chaos in My Little Pony. And the voice could not be more perfect, and his character could not be more perfect. And there's a guy's night where the main 6 go off and battle some creature. You don't get to hear about it. And the guy's night turns out to be D&D. They call it something else. And the Lord of Chaos is like, this is stupid. We could go do anything we want to. Here, let's just like randomly go someplace else. And he uses his random magic to take them someplace, and they're all dressed up cool, and they're going out, and they're like, no, we just want to play D&D. And the whole episode is interesting because for reasons all across the board, but it teaches the kids that sometimes you need to branch out and try new things, right? Like, which was great. And if you've ever had kids and they don't want to eat certain foods or they don't want to try something because it's something new, you get it and you realize how impactful that kind of episode can be and helpful. Well, at the same time, it was Q messing with guys' night and putting people into these weird situations and eventually creating a real life fantasy for anybody who has played Dungeons and Dragons where they got to actually live their characters, because he has that level of magic where he can literally create and turn everyone into their D&D characters. So it was it was fun. And there's another one with bugbears that references D&D. There's another episode that has oh my gosh. Doctor, who's the Time Lord in television? Yeah, Doctor Who. There you go. There's Dr. Whovian is his name. And he shows up and he struggles because he can't find his sash or something like that, which I think was an obvious reference to Doctor Who. Once again, I don't know much about Doctor Who, but it also had the three main characters from The Big Lebowski in it, who, for whatever reason, were connected, and there was a connector. I think Sia, the singer, was in that episode, and she was mixing dubstep while the characters from The Big Lebowski were playing bowling and trying to get the main characters, and there was like a whole total Mr. and Mrs. Smith scene. It was a crazy episode that connected like these disjointed 8 different plots into the greatest love film of all time is called Love Actually. So it was basically Love Actually in a 30-minute episode that referenced 7 different movies that brought it all together and created a cool moment at the end. Like, that's somebody, some genius, I feel like, was a part of that cast and wrote the episodes and got the actors and created and got the licensing or whatever. It worked with their legal department to say, like, they're close enough to know that this is an obvious reference without actually being an actual reference. So we don't need a license. But that's what I'm getting at. I will say that My Little Pony, out of everything I've ever talked about, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is by far the best television series written for adults that also happens to be for young kids. And I'm done now.
The night will last forever!
Oh my God, Dice!
Oh my God!
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
What's
I
up,
just
guys?
got off of a 15-hour day shooting. I'm sitting in my room with a bottle of wine. And
Are you in the bathroom again?
And
Or?
ready to do it all again in 6 hours.
But to confirm, as Surreal just said, you're not in the bathroom again, right?
No, I am definitely in my room. I'm in
Okay.
my room.
Welcome, warrior.
All right. Last game, and then we'll call it.
I just ordered. Well, I said that I'm making eggs. That's for a small snack. I did order room service. I'm getting the club sandwich.
Okay. So you are still traveling though right now.
Light back.
I have been in Sleepy Hollow since. It's technically Tuesday now. I have been in Sleepy Hollow since Saturday. No, Friday. One of the days last week where we were doing principal photography, and today was our first day of full production shooting. A solid 15-hour day. And now I remember why I don't do this for a living.
Living Arcade can sympathize with you there.
Absolutely Living Arcade, yes. And honestly, we got lucky. 15 hours was on the short end. We were thinking it'd be 17.
How are the covert protocols to deal with?
Oh, they're fine. We're
Good.
Our casting crew aren't. We have a couple of people masked up, but a lot of us are boosted and vaxxed enough that we're not that concerned about it. The one thing they said we needed to be concerned about, oddly enough, that nobody I'd ever talked to mentioned before going to Sleepy Hollow, there might be an outbreak of spider bites.
What?
Yeah, apparently, the closer you get to the Niagara Falls area, the more likely it is that, while not venomous or particularly problem-solving, the spiders get more bitey.
Sorry. The spiders get more bitey the closer you get to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, apparently that's the case.
Bitey McBitey spider.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think after, definitely after tomorrow with the short. I mean, the stars get to, go around the town and see it. It's the cast and crew and us that really need to be on set, and because we're trying to edit in real time to cut down on the amount of turnaround this movie's going to have. So once they're done for the day and they wrap, they get to go do the Living Arcade. I had a dog named Buddy. So we're trying to get this turned around as quickly as possible. Once they're done, they're out of there unless there's some ADR we have to do later. And the rest of them are just sitting there trying to get this done color correctly. I'm pretty sure after tomorrow, it's a good thing tonight is guest night, because I'm confident that after tomorrow night, 6 hours in between turnaround shooting, I will absolutely be unconscious. Regardless of any swipe, I'll be like, nope.
Well, I'm curious, when you say stars, are you working with anyone you can talk about?
It's nobody anybody has ever heard of.
Okay.
One of them might be, but he's a surprise cameo.
Is it Rutger Hauer?
No.
Okay.
It's somebody that George has definitely never met, but I will throw this out here without saying anything directly. Thanks to me, one of his songs is now indelibly a part of one of George's playlists.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yes, I was able to get him because he lives in the New York area, and I've met him several times, and he was very kind enough to come and join us and put on a costume and play pretend.
I mean, sorry, just to confirm, that's the happy birthday song, right?
Indeed it is.
That's awesome.
Yes, Aurelio was very kind to come and play pretend, and he's... he's one of the actors, but he's also been through this entire process before. But he's been a gem. He's going around and cracking jokes. If someone's having a bad day, he's trying to make them feel better. He's really been a boon to this production process.
That's awesome. Okay, and you have perfect timing because we are 4 drinks in. By the way, Dice.
Queen Dark Lady, yes, that is exactly who I'm talking about. I've met him several times, but I'm sure after this experience I'll be able to call him a close personal friend, and I'm 13-year-old me is very happy about that.
So great. Also, Dirty Toes, welcome. Dice, I cannot say enough good things about basically everything Crown Royal is doing right now with their pre-mixed drinks. It's fantastic.
I'd rather mix my own.
I get that, but this Washington apple is awesome, and it's 7%. Wow, 7%.
Dirty Toes, what did you think? Dirty Toes finally got to play Godzilla.
I am curious, what's the... Oh my god, the Crown... yeah, Living Arcade. It's not only good, I also have the peach one that's the peach tea. And the peach tea...
Peach Crown Royal is...
It's so good. Well, and I just ordered Squirt from Amazon. No, wait, was it Squirt? No, it's not Squirt. It's called Sundrop.
It's Sundrop.
So
You say that like you've never had it.
No. I've had Sundrop one time, and Joe Hills, when I was out in Tennessee, made me try Sundrop. And not made me. It wasn't like he had to force me. It's like, this is the drink of Tennessee. You need to have Sundrop. So I had Sundrop, and I thought, wow, that's really good.
It's Tennessee Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's Tennessee Mountain Dew. Is exactly how he described it. So I got to try Sundrop, and he says that Sundrop with sweet tea vodka is the combination of those two things is supposed to be one of the greatest drinks of all time.
Oh, sweet tea vodka is dangerous.
So I need to go get sweet tea vodka, and there are 2 different types. There's one that Surreal recommended, whose name I don't remember, and another one called Firefly, which I'll never forget. Surreal, what was the name of the sweet tea you recommended?
I don't think that was me.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I talked all over you guys. I just came in and kind of stole the show. I'm sorry about that.
We weren't talking much anyway. George had to keep prying.
I had to keep what?
Prying information out of us to talk.
Oh, no. By the way, Dice, meet Iskidoo. Iskidoo, meet Dice. You guys have not met before.
Not formally. We've met via Twitch text. I will throw Iskidoo a hearty eye up.
Yeah. See, you always say it weird, and I'm wondering where you got that from. Because I was always brought up.
Because I'm a Midwestern trying to talk like an East Coaster.
People around here would say, "Hey, yeah, you can't get there from here." It's like the.
Yeah.
Dirty Toes was liking the artwork. I thought I would show this off.
Dirty Toes, Honey Jack Daniels. Oh, when I had just turned 21, that was my drink of choice. But I had so many, I can't do it anymore. And I didn't even get sick. I just got tired of the taste of it. But it's a fantastic beverage to make a cocktail out of.
I like this setup, George.
Thank you. Yeah, so check this. I updated the setup. So we've got the wall stuff to actually hang. And you can see that the colors are all moving here. I also wrote a script that allows me to control it, but I haven't integrated it yet. So I've got to do that.
A filmmaker in chat. He wrote a script.
Ha! Well, so we've got now the lights also over here, and I've got a table. Hey, my first dinner table. This is what Zoe and I eat breakfast at. We still eat dinner downstairs. And
a man popping a rave.
Oh, is there a rave happening right now? There is a rave happening. You can see it there. So we've got lights there.
Those other lights, that'll be great.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants
and boots and pants. Nice. So we've got the lights over there. We've got these lights here. Plus, also, don't forget that one. It's really easy to forget this guy. And also, it just looks bright white, but it's not. There's a lot of colors going on here.
I saw a Deathly Hallows sign on the fireplace, and I just have to ask, fireplace, after all this time?
Always.
That little can-looking one was like an Alexa or something.
Nope. There's that. Records up over there. It's funny because Zoe and I actually used the record player for the first time in a little bit recently. We got to pull that back in. It's just so easy sometimes to play her or my playlist from the Sonos speakers. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. And
George, did you get that double disc Scott Pilgrim set?
So I do have Scott Pilgrim somewhere in here, and it is wonderful. Where is it?
Just the original, or is it the double disc? Because the double disc has all the songs written for the movie, but it's Beck's versions.
So it definitely has Beck's versions. Hold up, let me find it.
Okay, so you did get the collector version.
Okay, I think I got the collector version, but now I'm curious. But I know that I have. Where is it?
I'm not laughing at you, George. I'm laughing just because I saw Green Day, God's favorite band.
I saw Hackers.
Oh yeah, no.
That made me happy.
This, by the way, was the most expensive record I have ever purchased. To get the Hackers record was ridiculous and worth every penny.
Is that a reprint, or is it the original?
No, that's original. Are you kidding me? It's Hackers.
Were you in chat on that night I was in Nick's chat and we were talking about my recent vinyl pickups?
No, I was not. What did you recently pick up?
On eBay, I got the first two original pressings of Cottonmouth King records, and each one was autographed by every member in the band at that point. And he wanted like $30 for both of them, and I messaged him and told him like, I'm gonna buy these, but these are easily worth like $100 each, so I gave him $150 for both.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, and this is something you'll come to learn. That's a very real thing, George. Vinyl karma, much like the weed karma, you put out what you get back. I could have taken that at a very easy price, but then later on, something down the road I would have wanted, I absolutely would not have been able to get. Vinyl karma is very much a real thing.
I have a shelf that looks very similar to that, George, but it's all laser discs.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just realized I really need to listen to some Cold War Kids at some point soon. I feel like Cold War Kids and Black Keys need to be played together.
all the Cold War kids with the non-pumped up kicks.
Different song, but yep. Oh God, Fall Out Boy has, yes! Oh my God, Sammy, thank you. Thank you right there. Fall Out Boy has a greatest hits album. They have
Higgins,
two.
Fall Out Boy actually has 2 greatest hits albums.
I have both. Part 1 and Part 2. Real talk, Speed Racer is my pick for most unrelated movie. I never get Dirty Toes. Speed Racer is up there in my top 10 films of all time. The one that was written and produced by the Wachowski siblings, but I think directed by somebody else.
And
or maybe it was
Emil
directed.
Hirsch, acting Darling, who, fingers crossed, someday I'll get to put in a movie.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone in here who has any interest or had any interest in the past of the either skateboarding or history of skateboarding and has not seen Lords of Dogtown, Emil Hirsch is in it. He plays J-Boy. Oh, what a film.
Okay. I remember when that movie came out, I saw the preview for it. I wasn't interested, but I love, so is Emil Hirsch the main character from
He is
Speed Racer? Okay, he is Speed Racer. Great. I loved every second of that movie. It is a movie that I could, when Zoe was 7, I watched it with her because it was wholesome. But it was wholesome in a way that even I enjoyed. The visuals, the graphics, the ideas and morals that were taught in that film. It's a total, I feel like, early 90s throwback to cartoons, except a movie with great actors and really, really well done just across the board. It was such a great film. Social Distortion, Mr. Buzzo, hey, welcome to the stream. Covered a Clash song for the Lords of Dogtown soundtrack. Okay.
Oh yeah, that soundtrack is freaking-tastic.
Okay. Well,
they really nailed what I'd imagine the look and feel of 70s California to be.
It's funny because
it was shot digitally, but it even looks kind of grainy. It's got that kind of look to it.
Right, like almost like it was old school 35 millimeter film, like physical
like
film.
One of their buddies was just rolling alongside them with a camera.
One of those kind of things. I love it, and that was the tagline that got me. Like back when skating was when they would they would go find empty pools before they got filled up, and that's where skating was born.
Oh, not only were they not filled up, as you'll see in the movie, and there's a good documentary to go alongside it, but they would wait until people would leave town or they heard word that someone was going to be around for a few days. They'd drain the pool and then skate in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, there was some heavy vandalism involved there because that would just wreck the tile.
I was about to say, oh my God, how much damage were they causing in people's pools?
It was definitely illegal.
Wow. And now that George, where do I get that ramen poster? Dirty Toes. It was, I'm not going to lie, I purchased a lot of...
Toes. You can get that right at this link right here. It's a tri-blend poster.
Tri-blend death. Oh, man. Well played.
Arcade, have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. Sorry I didn't get to talk with you a whole lot. I had a very busy day.
Yeah. No. We've totally got to go find someone to send all this raid love off to. Thank you, everybody.
It is a game since I just got here, George.
Laser loads.
I went to bed. I'll let you know. I went to bed at 3 last night. And then my kid woke up at 6:30, even though she went to bed an hour late, and came in. And it was one of those moments. I'm gonna let you know what that's like where you're sleeping and you're dreaming about whatever because it doesn't make a difference because you were scared so horribly that you don't remember what you were dreaming. Because what happened is that moment, and if you've had kids, you know what I'm talking about, but it's like that moment where you're like, someone's staring at me, and you open your eyes and there's a face right here, just looking at you. And I moved back, I want to say it was like legitimately 1.5 feet, But in my mind, I jumped 16 feet and fell the outside my window. I was so freaked out at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't go to bed till 3. And the issue was that I had forgotten that Zoe ran out of cereal. She ate the last of her Lucky Charms, which is frustrating in its own right because she has one bowl where she eats all of it and then she fills up the next bowl. And I keep telling her not to do that because she doesn't eat the second bowl. She just eats the marshmallows out of the second bowl. I don't know how to fix this issue because
George, you know you can buy just the marshmallows, right?
Yeah.
No. That's not a solution. I don't want Zoe to eat nothing but marshmallows. Like that is, I'm not stooping to that level. Instead, I want her to step up, right? And show me that she can be trustworthy enough to watch cartoons and eat a bowl of cereal from 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning until I get up at 9 on a Saturday or Sunday.
If she keeps doing that, she's only getting grape nuts.
Wait, cats do this too. The Terra is the same, I think. You fix it by putting it in a high cabinet after she pours the first bowl. Sammy, she figures it out. There's no. If I moved it to a higher cabinet, she would figure out where it went. Like, that would be her goal. Or she'd come upstairs and wake me up saying, I can't find breakfast.
It fell off the counter trying to climb up to get to the cereal.
Yeah. No.
Going to the hospital.
No matter what.
And tell her she doesn't finish that second bowl, all she's getting is ketchup.
I wipe my own ass. God, Big Daddy was such a great movie.
However, and as someone who's never had any interest in having any kids, I have to say the soap dispenser with the milk so they don't spill, that's brilliant.
What? Oh my God. Like a soap instead of the big thing.
Yeah, so they don't spill it, they can just pump it. That's brilliant.
I'll have you know that I have solved this issue.
You bought a cow?
No, I have little bottles of milk in which to pour milk. Zoe also struggles with dairy. So we have nothing but oat milk at this house. And oat milk comes in a very small container, or you can do a very large container. So we do.
George, show me the tit on an oat.
And which the thing that you milk in order to fill this, I get what you're saying. I don't know how they milk oats.
Water?
No, okay.
Emulsified water?
Whoa. Oat milk is borderline better than cow's milk. If you have not tried the magnificence that is oat milk, you should. It's basically half and half. But there's no dairy. It's fantastic. So I can.
Terrible for you.
No. Right here. Specially formulated for the creamy, frothy needs of our professional baristas. Oh, this is my coffee milk. Actually, Zoe's not allowed to use this one.
You should not be fulfilling the creamy, frothy needs of your child.
It's amazing. Trust me. Oat water is pretty decent, says Dirty Toes. Dave, I also cannot do gluten. So I can't do dairy and I can't do gluten. And I'm this is gluten-free and vegan. So it's dairy-free and gluten-free. Oat milk is
a chemist to make some white bread.
What are the first 3 ingredients?
Milk with the most gluten.
The first 3 ingredients are oat milk, sunflower oil, and minerals. There are only 4 ingredients. The final one is sea salt.
Milk isn't the only ingredient concerns me.
It shouldn't. It's oat milk. Come on.
Seems like a cop-out. Just say oat milk as an ingredient.
Oat milk, sunflower oil, minerals, and sea salt. That's it. 4 different things in this right here.
Yeah.
So they don't have to tell you how the oat milk is made. They just say oat milk.
Wait. They do say minerals is dipotassium phosphate, calcium carbonate, and tricalcium phosphate.
Everyone likes sausage, but no one wants to know how it's made.
Yeah, sausage is disgusting. It's funny because Zoe figured out how they make sausage and she doesn't want to eat it. She's like, but the casing they put it in is disgusting. And I'm like, yeah, but the food in the casing is great. And you don't taste the casing. It tastes
like sausage.
Yeah. I'm like, there is a local butcher shop that makes rattlesnake and rabbit sausage.
Oh, rattlesnake sausage is so good.
It's mixed with rabbit. It is amazing, and she loves it. So we went when she was 4. She said, because we had this thing where I would always joke and tell her that when we went out and we got like chicken nuggets someplace or chicken fingers or she got something, I would always make up some animal that she was eating, and she got really interested. I'm like, oh, we're eating it was cheetah or cheetah fingers or cheetah toes or something like that. She's like, Dad, she would do that funny thing. Well, what happened was the first time we went to this local Cajun restaurant where they sold actual alligator. I'm like, no. You're eating real alligator. There's no joking. It's not lying. It's not fun. It's not anything. By the way, we never lie. There is a rule hard and fast that we never lie to each other. And I just let her know when things are when I'm saying something that may not be true. She'll ask me and I'll be very upfront about it. But I'm like, no, you're eating actual alligator. And she's like, oh, she got all excited. What is it?
You should try this cinnamon roll oat milk coffee creamer.
What?
That sounds good.
Oh,
that sounds good.
I don't put creamer in my coffee.
Oh,
it gets between me and caffeinating.
Yeah,
oh no, I just finished it.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Wait, where is it? So that same manufacturer is what I just finished this morning. Here it is. Oh, there was something.
Takes it through the trash.
Yep. Nope. There's food on this, but anyway, that same thing. We're gonna ignore. We're gonna ignore what just fell off the oat milk here, but that same Khalifa Farms
Clean up aisle 3.
Pretty sure I bought another milk-based product at one of the conventions I went to, but Khalifa was spelled differently.
And then we have Oatly oat milk, which is the same manufacturer that we just had a second ago for the coffee. And then I even have more oat milk. Oh, this one is the gray. Well,
are you sure you didn't buy that on clearance and they left the G off for goat milk?
It is not goat milk because goat cheese, by the way, is
that was a bad joke.
Nicely done. Oh my God, Surreal, you left to go to bed. What are you still doing in chat?
What are you talking about? I've been here the whole
Surreal
time.
went to bed doesn't mean he's not still here.
Oh my God, Surreal.
No, I haven't gone to bed. I haven't done anything. I've just been sitting here listening.
Okay, cool. So you're texting, that's fine.
And watching food fall off of
As long as we're here, George, you might as well play another game.
No, I have to go to bed. I haven't slept. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep and a lot of caffeine.
I've had 0 in the last 72 hours. The edges of things are starting to get dancy, and I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly. No. We're both going to go to sleep. Everyone, have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let's go find someone to raid. Really quick, who is streaming? Is there anyone streaming pinball right now? Oh, yeah, there is.
Laserlos is streaming pinball because he does.
Yep. Let's go raid some Laserlos. And he is playing Tommy.
End at Laserlos.
Let's go do it. You guys, have a great night. Thank you so much, and have fun.
Thanks, George.
Have a good night.
Have you been inundated with ads and questions related to TPN's now famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings? Questions like,
TPN's pinball pudding is so good, it must be illegal, right?
What the fuck is pinball pudding?
How can a collection of content creators also be a pudding? That makes no sense.
And we hear you. You want to know what makes TPN so special? The answer is in TPN's secret ingredient. Simply proof. Other puddings may say they have it too, but watch as they're unable to back those statements up.
Well, I'm not a crook.
Do we have evidence of that?
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Evidence? Evidence?
Richard, do I have a mark on my face? Right here. Not here or here so much, but right here.
That's evidence. Again, request for more evidence.
You can't handle the truth.
Do we have evidence of that?
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Evidence?
Saw TDI clean diesel with up to 814 highway miles per tank.
Do we have evidence of that? Evidence?
Isn't it time you gave TPN's famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings a try? And check your local retailers for these amazing original and fantastic new flavors from TPN's famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings.